Welcome everybody. We are the Why Nots, and this presentation will detail specific team member leadership experiences that we have encountered in the workforce, along with some team member feedback. Following the feedback I received.
My first year out of college, I got a job teaching high school world geography. I went to college for accounting and had no formal education in education or classroom management. When I got to that classroom setting, I was very uneasy and nervous and feeling as if I wasn't going to be able to earn the respect and confidence of the children. And because of this, I overcompensated and decided to have a very authoritarian type of leadership style. After studying in this course, I came to learn that that was called a task oriented style, in which I was mainly focused on making sure that my children accomplished what they needed to accomplish, got the job done, learned what they needed to learn, and had less of a focus upon what their experience was throughout the year or in their own education. And it took me a while to realize that the uneasy feeling that I felt in my classroom all year and the uneasiness that I got from my students had a lot to do with the fact that I wasn't addressing them as individuals and as people who were there for an experience as well as an education. And that was so against my nature because as I took the Northhouse leadership questionnaire, I realized, and over time, I've always known that I'm a very relationship oriented person. My main takeaway from this issue was maintaining my style when I am leading or teaching or anything of that nature. Because at the end of the day, doing what feels comfortable for you and what is a strength will allow you the most success. Some of the feedback from my group was that they saw this experience as uneasy, and they think that they would have been nervous as well in the same scenario. They see that I was able to identify the growth that went on throughout the year, and also they were able to understand why I took the authoritarian approach that I did. Olivia was a little more on the side of maybe try to relate to the students, which over time I have incorporated some of that. Justin, however, thought that he might have been even more authoritarian. Overall, it was really good to hear from my group members that my initial reaction wasn't too far or too extreme, and that they kind of saw in our discussion that I have grown and have began to implement the style that is more comfortable for me. So that was really great feedback from them.
After my first year of employment as a credit analyst, I was asked to train 2 new employees, which was a totally new experience for me. Each employee was different, and I was uncertain of exactly how to ensure that they would both learn the basics of the job. I used their initial impressions and read their body language to determine how I would train each of them. After reading Chapter 5 in Leadership, Theory and Practice, I discovered that leadership can change in different situations. The 2 different leadership styles that was used to train the new employees could be described as 1, a mix of coaching or directive leadership style, and 2, a supportive leadership style. The first style used a moderate level of direction and support, focusing on goal achievement and the individual's needs. The second style used a low level of direction and a high level of support, focusing less on goal achievement and more on the individual's ability to show their skills, with me providing constructive criticism. The main takeaway from this experience was that as people differ, so do their learning methods and therefore the need for individual leadership styles. This experience brought a sense of reward and purpose as well as allowed me to share my knowledge of the profession. Each member of my team provided their feedback on the situation. Justin felt it was natural to feel nervous as it was a new experience for me. He also agreed that reading people was a good way to train them and stressed the importance of reading one's body language and demeanor. He suggested that I should have remained calm and taken a moment to enjoy the experience. Caitlin, too, understood why I was unsteady, as I was not necessarily hired into a position directly related to leadership. She agreed that I handled the situation appropriately, however felt that I should have entered it with more confidence as an experienced and knowledgeable employee. Finally, she would have judged each of the new employees' comfort levels and gone at each one's pace. In conclusion, the team learned that team leadership is an important part of working for a common goal, that all leadership experiences differ from person to person, that leaders must make difficult choices with incomplete information, and finally, that learning from one's experiences can assist in providing future solutions. In discussing each of our stories, we all realized that each of us dealt with our struggles similar to one another, and that, well, we are not alone in our experiences with leadership. After hearing about our experiences, do any of you have a similar experience in your career? Which of these events did you relate to the most?